Hello students, today we are going to start part 2 of the chapter 1 of our environmental science book, that is going to school. In the previous class we have discussed about the students of Assam, how do they go to school, what are the means by which they go to school, and about the students of Ladakh. So what have we learned so far? I got an idea about it that the students of Assam use a bamboo bridge to go to the school, and the students of Ladakh use a trolley to reach from one place to another, where going by walking or using other means of transportation is not easily available. So today we are moving on. Today we are going to learn about the state which is situated in the southern part of our country called India. The name of the state is Kerala. So we have learnt about, we have heard about this state. আমরা এই স্টেটটার ব্যাপারে অনেক শুনেছি যে খুব it is surrounded by water on most of its side. সব দিকে সমুদ্র বা rivers are always surrounding the state on all its sides. Kerala যে স্টেটটা, কেরালা এই স্টেটটা সিচুয়েটেড হয়েছে, এটা সাউথ ওয়েস্টার্ন পার্ট অফ দ্য কান্ট্রি। সাউথ ওয়েস্টার্ন পার্ট মানে ইন্ডিয়ার নিচে, সাউথ হলো নিচের দিকে থাকে, নিচের দিকে ওয়েস্টের দিকে সিচুয়েটেড হলো এই স্টেটটা কল্ড কেরালা। It is a very beautiful state situated by greenery and covered with water on all its sides. As this state is surrounded by water on most of its side, students often find difficulty to go to school. So what can they do to reach school in time, to avoid the hustle of going through the water? We know there are several means of transportation that we can use to go by water. So the students of Kerala use a special kind of boat. It's a small boat which is called vallam. In Malayalam language, the word vallam literally means a boat. So the students of Assam use a small boat. 3 or 4 students or even more than that, 5 to 6 students sit together in a boat and they cross the river or any water body that is there with the help of an elderly person, and they go from one place to another and they eventually reach school. কি দিয়ে যায় ওরা? They use a small wooden boat যেটাকে বলে vallam, যেহেতু কেরালা is bounded by water on most of its side. So we have learnt about the boat called, special kind of boat called vallam, which is made of wood and is comparatively smaller in size. So other than that, what are the various means by which we can travel on water? So আমরা যদি দেখি একটু village area te, rural area te মাঝে মধ্যে where boats are not available, we will see that people are binding 4 to 5 wooden rafts or bamboos together. মানে ছোট ছোট বাঁশ একসাথে করে সেরে 6-7টা একসাথে করে সেরে এগুলিকে টাই করে সেরে এগুলিকে জলের মধ্যে ছেড়ে দেয়। So these are used as a means of transportation for smaller distances. মানে একখান থেকে আরেকখানে গেলাম, হাতের মধ্যে they use the ওর মানে যে লম্বা একটা স্টিকের মতো থাকে যেটা দিয়ে জলের মধ্যে ট্রাভেল করে সেরে ওরা যায়, ওরা they use that and they use it to go from one place to another, but for smaller distances, ছোট ডিস্টেন্সের জন্য। এটা দিয়ে আমরা বেশি দূর অবধি যেতে পারবো না, এটা জলের টাইডস বা জলের ওয়েভসও বেশি একটা ওভারবিয়ার করতে পারবে না। রাফট ছাড়া, যেটাকে বলে রাফট, ওই ব্যাম্বুগুলি একসাথে করে সেরে বা উডেন কাঠের প্ল্যাঙ্কস অফ উড যেগুলিকে একসাথে বাইন্ড করে সেরে ইউজ করা হয়, ওইগুলিকে বলা হয় রাফট। নেক্সট আমরা যদি দেখি, if you move on from raft to, there is another means of transportation which people use. It is called a steamer. Steamer হলো গিয়ে, steamer একটা much larger than a raft, many people can sit in it, sometimes 50 to 60 people, sometimes more than even 100 people can sit in a steamer, which is used to cross rivers. If we have ever been to places such as Govt or places where there is river like Brahmaputra, Ganga, so using a wooden boat and using an oar to go from one place to another is a physically taxing task. মানে এটা অনেক ড্রেইন হয়ে যাবে আমাদের এনার্জি। তো তখন ওইখানে টু ট্রাভেল ফ্রম ওয়ান প্লেস টু আনাদার ইন আ মাচ শর্টার টাইম, টেকিং বাল্ক অফ পিপল, মানে অনেক মানুষকে একসাথে কম সময়ে নিয়ে যাওয়ার জন্য, ফর much larger distances, river from one side of the river to other side of the river, তখন স্টিমার ইউজ করা হয়। there is a motor, it can be electrically driven, ঠিক আছে? তো তখন ইউজ করা হচ্ছে স্টিমার। সো আমরা ফার্স্টে পড়লাম রাফট, সেকেন্ড আমরা পড়লাম স্টিমার, Third and the last one is ship. It is a means of traveling from one place to another on water. Jekhane we can carry huge number of people, like thousands of people. If we have ever seen the movie Titanic, there is the mention of a large ship jeta iceberg er sathe bari খেয়ে and it completely got destroyed and many people were killed. So a ship is like a very big structure which can float on water carrying huge number of people. Etar amra normally river e ba pond e sob choto choto water bodies amra use korbo na. We will use ships for traveling much larger water bodies such as oceans and seas. If you have to go from one continent to another, if you have to go from one country to another country, and we can travel by water using a large cruise ship or a bigger ship. A ship has places where we can go to the washroom, where we can sleep, where we can eat, and we can do everything that we can normally do in a hotel. A ship has all these amenities. So what are the ways by which we can travel on water? Apart from the one that we have read earlier, which is called a vallam, a small wooden boat, there is raft, which is made using bamboo or wooden planks. There is steamer, which is used to travel from one part of the river to another carrying a bunch of people, and then there is ship where thousands of people can be carried from one place to another on larger water bodies such as seas and oceans. So from moving on to Kerala, now we will go towards the western part of the country. If you can look into this picture, amader mathar moddhe if anyone asks a question ki what is a desert, to desert bolli amader mathar moddhe ekta image amader mathay ashe, that is vast stretches of sand. So ekhon desert is not always hot, desert can be both hot and cold. ঠিক আছে, hot desert ও বলা হয়, cold desert ও বলা হয়. Now if we go on to talk about hot desert. Hot desert কাকে বলে? Hot desert is vast stretches of sand where the temperature can rise up to 40-50 degrees during the day, and during the night it can fall up to 5-4 degrees, and it's very cold during the night, but it's relatively much hot during the day. So it's very difficult for people to walk on the sand when they have to go to the school, and during the day it becomes much tough. So if we look into the western part of the country, যেখানে একটা desert state আছে, that is Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a state which has desert in some parts of it, though not all parts of Rajasthan has sand. So Rajasthan মানে আমরা desert যদি ভাবি পুরো স্টেটটার মধ্যে কিন্তু শুধু বালি নেই, ঠিক আছে, এখানে কিছু পার্টে বালি and some parts is like the normal cities যেটা আমরা usually দেখে থাকি আমাদের around. Places with sand gets pretty hard to cross via foot or via any vehicle. So what do? There is a special kind of animal that we can see specifically in the deserts যেটার নাম কি? That is called a camel. Camels are adapted to survive the harsh, hot, sandy part of the desert. They can walk on it very easily, they can survive the hot, they can survive anything that is there in the desert. They can withstand high temperature during the day, and they can walk effortlessly on sand without much problem. So what do the people or the students of Rajasthan do? They have created what is called a camel cart. What is a cart? A cart is a vehicle with 2 or 4 wheels which is pulled by an animal to cross any part from one place to another. Is a vehicle that is pulled by an animal to go from one place to another. So a camel cart is such a vehicle which is driven by a camel. So the students of Rajasthan go on a camel cart, use a camel cart, that is the vehicle is driven by a camel to go from one place to another effortlessly during the day. Moving on from camel cart, if we have been to any of the plain areas in the rural places, ekdom সমতল জায়গা যেখানে there is greenery all around and people are working in the field and people are using cows to plow the field, so এখানে people living in the plains sometimes use another type of cart which is called a bullock cart. A bullock cart is a vehicle which is driven by an animal called a bull. It is much larger than a cow, looks much stronger than a cow. The vehicle is attached to the bullock and the bullock pulls the cart. The people, choto children, some children or even adults can sit on it, and the cart is driven by the bullock. The cart goes slowly through the green fields carrying the students. If it is sunny or if it is rainy, students can use the umbrellas to protect themselves from the sun or the rain. So far we have learnt about two kinds of carts. One is the camel cart and the second one is the bullock cart. So after all these things, there are some probable questions that can come. First is, where is Kerala situated? We have learned that Kerala is situated in the southwestern part of the country. How do people of Kerala travel for going to school? The students of Kerala use a small wooden boat called vallam for going to school. What is a vallam? Again, a vallam is a small wooden boat which is used by the students of Kerala to go from one place to another. What are the other ways that we can travel on water? The other ways which we can use to travel on water is a raft, a steamer and a ship. It depends on the size and the quantity of people that needs to be transported, or even the water bodies. How do the students of Rajasthan go to school? The students of Rajasthan use a cart which is driven by a camel. So the name of the vehicle is camel cart. The students use camel cart to go to school. What is a cart? A cart is a 2 or 4 wheeled vehicle which is driven by an animal to go from one place to another. What is a camel cart? Camel cart is a cart which is driven by a camel and is used specifically in the desert areas to travel during the day. What is that vehicle driven by bullocks called? The vehicle driven specifically by bullocks is called bullock cart. So far this is the chapter. Up to this we have learnt, and in the next part of the class we will discuss about the rest of the chapter. Thank you.